Welcome to Streaming News Network by Claude McDaniel. Please like and subscribe.
This is Claude McDaniel with Streaming News Network. Authorities are continuing their investigation tonight, one day after a shooting incident at the White House Correspondents Association dinner, as new details emerge about the suspect and his alleged motives. Law enforcement officials say the suspect, Cole Thomas Allen, a 31-year-old from Torrance, California, sent a troubling message to family members prior to the attack. In that note, he reportedly apologized for betraying trust, expressed deep political anger, and indicated he intended to target members of the administration, adding that he did not expect forgiveness. Investigators say Allen, who worked part-time as a teacher and also developed video games, had recently shown signs of escalating radical behavior. According to statements provided to authorities, he had become increasingly involved in political activism, acquired firearms, and practiced regularly at a shooting range. Officials say Allen traveled by train from Los Angeles to Chicago, then onward to Washington, D.C., where he checked into the hotel hosting the high-profile dinner attended by President Donald Trump and other top officials. Armed with both a handgun and a shotgun, Allen allegedly attempted to breach security Saturday night. During the confrontation, he fired multiple shots, striking a Secret Service agent who was protected by a bulletproof vest. Todd Blanche confirmed the suspect was quickly subdued and taken into custody as leaders inside the venue were rushed to safety. Tonight, investigators are closely examining the suspect's message, online activity, and personal history as they work to determine what led to the violent act. This is Streaming News Network. Despite heightened security concerns following the recent shooting in Washington, officials confirm that the upcoming state visit by King Charles III will proceed as planned. Buckingham Palace announced Sunday that, after coordination between United Kingdom and United States officials, the King and Queen Camilla will travel to the United States as scheduled. The visit is set to begin Monday and run through April 27 to April 30. The decision comes just days after a gunman opened fire at the White House Correspondents Association dinner, attended by President Donald Trump and other senior officials. Authorities say the situation prompted a rapid evacuation, though no dignitaries were injured. Palace officials say the king has been kept fully informed and expressed relief that those in attendance were unharmed, while also extending private sympathies and gratitude to security personnel. United Kingdom government leaders, including Darren Jones, say security coordination with U.S. counterparts is ongoing, with enhanced measures expected throughout the visit. The trip marks the first British state visit to the United States since Queen Elizabeth II traveled here in 2007. Events are expected to include a formal White House banquet and a rare address by King Charles before Congress. However, officials on both sides of the Atlantic are now reassessing security protocols, particularly ahead of the King's scheduled appearance on Capitol Hill. For now, leaders emphasize that the visit will move forward, underscoring the enduring relationship between the United States and the United Kingdom, even amid evolving security challenges. This is Streaming News Network. President Donald Trump says he has directed U.S. envoys not to travel overseas for diplomatic talks with Iran, signaling a shift in strategy as tensions remain high. In an interview on Fox News Channel, the president said he chose not to send a delegation on what he described as a lengthy 17-hour flight, emphasizing that negotiations should instead come to the United States. According to the president, discussions appeared to break down over the weekend after Iran's top diplomat departed Pakistan, prompting the administration to halt planned travel to Islamabad. Trump added that any future dialogue would take place on U.S. terms, stating that Iran could initiate contact directly. The president also voiced strong criticism of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, expressing disappointment with the alliance's response during recent tensions involving Iran and disruptions in the Strait of Hormuz. Trump suggested the United States has carried a disproportionate burden within the alliance for many years, spending trillions of dollars, and indicated that a lack of support from member nations during the crisis would not be forgotten. The remarks come as global attention remains focused on stability in the region and the future of international cooperation. This is Streaming News Network. A key development tonight in Washington, as Senator Thom Tillis says he will support the nomination of Kevin Warsh as the next chair of the Federal Reserve. Speaking on Meet the Press, Tillis expressed confidence in Warsh, calling him a strong choice to lead the nation's central bank. The decision follows the conclusion of a Justice Department investigation involving current Fed Chair Jerome Powell, whose term is set to expire on May 15. Tillis had previously delayed moving forward with the nomination while that probe was underway, citing concerns about preserving the independence of the Federal Reserve. Now that the investigation has been dropped, Tillis says allowing it to continue could have posed serious risks to financial markets and the broader global economy. The probe itself came after months of criticism from President Donald Trump, who has pushed for lower interest rates and raised concerns about Powell's leadership, including oversight of a multi-billion-dollar renovation project at the Fed's Washington headquarters. Tillis also suggested there were concerns the investigation could have pressured Powell to step down early, but says he has received assurances the matter will not be reopened. Meanwhile, President Trump has made clear he expects new leadership at the Federal Reserve to pursue lower interest rates, even joking about legal action if those expectations are not met. This is Streaming News Network. A remarkable new look into deep space tonight, as the Hubble Space Telescope revisits a distant stellar nursery, offering scientists a rare glimpse of how the universe evolves over time. The focus of this latest observation is the Trifid Nebula, located roughly 5,000 light-years from Earth in the constellation Sagittarius. Known for its vivid colors and dramatic structure, the nebula is an active region where new stars are being born. This newly released image highlights a striking formation sometimes nicknamed the cosmic sea lemon, shaped by powerful stellar winds and intense ultraviolet radiation from young, massive stars. These forces carve through clouds of gas and dust, creating glowing ridges, dark voids, and bright blue regions where material has been cleared away. What makes this moment especially significant is the passage of time. Hubble first captured this exact region back in 1997. Now, nearly 3 decades later, scientists have returned with more advanced imaging technology, allowing for a direct comparison. The results reveal subtle but measurable changes. A jet of energized gas, part of a feature known as HH399, has visibly expanded. These jets are produced by newborn stars, and tracking their movement helps scientists calculate speed and better understand how young stars shape their environments. Researchers also observed additional expanding material, suggesting the presence of other newly formed stars actively reshaping the region. Scientists say these observations provide a rare opportunity to witness cosmic change on a human timescale, offering new insight into how stars form and evolve. This is Streaming News Network. A deep-sea mystery that once puzzled scientists has now been solved, following years of research and analysis. The discovery was first made in 2023 by researchers with National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration during an ocean exploration mission in the Gulf of Alaska. While reviewing live video from the seafloor more than 2 miles below the surface, crew members aboard the Okeanos Explorer were startled by a strange, golden object resting on the ocean floor. At the time, scientists openly speculated about what the unusual find could be, ranging from an unknown species to something far more unusual. The object quickly gained attention for its eerie appearance and unexplained origin. Now, after extensive study, researchers have identified the so-called golden orb as a remnant of a deep-sea anemone known as Relicanthus daphne. Specifically, scientists believe the structure is leftover material from the base of the organism, where it once attached itself to the seafloor. Because of the intense public interest and scientific curiosity, the sample was carefully collected and sent to the Smithsonian National Museum of Natural History for detailed examination. Experts say solving the mystery took years of collaboration and highlights the often slow and methodical nature of scientific discovery. Researchers emphasize that while some questions are answered quickly, others require patience and continued investigation. This is Streaming News Network. WWE has announced a stacked lineup for Monday Night Raw, set to take place in Laredo, Texas, with major developments expected following WrestleMania. According to Raw General Manager Adam Pearce, the night will be headlined by Roman Reigns, who is expected to deliver his official response to a World Heavyweight Championship challenge issued by Jacob Fatu ahead of the upcoming Backlash event. Pearce also confirmed several key matchups, including a singles bout between Penta and Rusev. In tag team action, Bayley will team with Lyra Valkyria to face Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, with Liv Morgan expected to be at ringside. The show is scheduled to open with Seth Rollins, while Joe Hendry will host his first in-ring concert as an official member of the Raw roster. Additionally, Becky Lynch is slated to appear, adding further star power to what is shaping up to be a high-profile night. Fans can expect major storyline developments as WWE builds momentum toward Backlash. This is Streaming News Network. New first-hand accounts are emerging following the shooting at the White House Correspondents' Association dinner, shedding light on the moments of chaos inside the Washington Hilton. Kerry Kennedy says she was speaking with Congressman Jamie Raskin when gunfire erupted. In a social media post, Kennedy described diving to the floor as Raskin shielded her, reassuring her as panic spread throughout the crowded ballroom. She recounted a scene of confusion and fear, with journalists and guests taking cover under tables as loud noises echoed through the venue. Moments later, Secret Service agents entered the room, moving quickly to secure cabinet officials and escort them to safety. Kennedy called the experience terrifying but expressed gratitude to security personnel, fellow attendees, and especially Congressman Raskin for his actions during the incident. Authorities say the suspect, Cole Thomas Allen, was armed with multiple weapons before being taken into custody. The Federal Bureau of Investigation is now leading the investigation into the attack. In a separate interview, Raskin described hearing loud blasts and seeing objects thrown into the air as people scrambled for cover. He also reflected on the historical weight of the moment, noting the connection to the 1968 assassination of Kennedy's father, Robert F. Kennedy. Following the evacuation, President Donald Trump, along with First Lady Melania Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, and FBI Director Kash Patel, were safely escorted from the event and later addressed the press. The president described the moment as one that ultimately brought unity to the room, despite the violence that unfolded. The investigation remains ongoing. Late-night television is drawing attention tonight after political opinionator Jimmy Kimmel delivered a parody of the White House Correspondents' Association dinner, taking aim at President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump. During the segment, Kimmel mocked the couple with a series of satirical remarks, including jokes about their relationship and the First Lady's public persona. The parody also referenced Mrs. Trump's recent birthday, imagining a quiet and reflective celebration. The annual Correspondents' Dinner, traditionally a night of humor and recognition for journalism, took on added significance this year as President Trump attended in person for the first time while in office. However, the event was later overshadowed by violence when a gunman breached a security checkpoint at the Washington Hilton, opening fire and triggering panic among attendees before being taken into custody. Kimmel's remarks, delivered just days before the incident, are now gaining renewed attention as conversations continue around the tone of his political bias and the broader climate he creates surrounding high-profile events. This has been Claude McDaniel for Streaming News Network.
Thank you for listening to Streaming News Network videos and shorts. Please like and subscribe to our news channel.